this first. And I think, Rachel, you're going to lead us here because this is a battle of the two best defences in the Premier League. And that's your area of expertise within the experts that we have on the couch here. Let's just talk about it. Firstly, Arsenal, with their run of clean sheets, I think they've got 4 clean sheets in a row with 4 victories. If they manage 5, it'll be the first time since the George Graham era. I mean, we know what that's like. That was in the 80s. What's impressed you most about the way they've defended?
It's so difficult to just sort of pinpoint one thing, but I do think there is the biggest difference in what happens when you get a run like this is the mentality is so different. And I think that's one thing that Mikel Arteta has been very keen on from the beginning, and I think there's been a lot of subtle things he's implemented over time, but just little things of how the areas they concede possession in, the areas they allow teams to progress forward in. You know, they limit the opportunity for teams to progress centrally so much. They don't give away many set pieces in dangerous areas. They don't give away many. All these little things, you essentially eliminate so many opportunities for teams to have the opportunity to put the ball into an area that's dangerous for you. Yeah. Then on top of that, I think they've got a really solid and set back 4 pretty much. Like, I think we all know what he deems his best back 4 to be. And on top of that, whenever you see them play in a cup competition and they change, you know, just the other week when they played in the cup, they changed the whole 11, and you were still looking at an 11 that would be full of players that have certainly been first team at Arsenal or first pick at Arsenal in the past. Some good additions, you know, almost I think it's on Odegaard in the starting 11. I almost forgot he'd gone there, but what a great addition he is to just give him minutes as well, see him in an Arsenal shirt. So they have the depth. It's not just about the back 4 and the goalkeeper. There is as well. It's like how they press the ball, the areas they press hard. And I mean, it's hard to know how you would even begin to think about trying to find a way to actually get a result.
Well, that's going to be my next question. I'll give you time, I'll give you time to think about it. Julian, the thing about them is they're even celebrating blocks and clean sheets and late clearances. They're thriving on this whole defensive solidity, which, as Rachel mentioned, it's a team effort, really.
Yeah, no, it is, to be fair, but I think the defensive structure is the best in Europe. They're the best team without the ball, and they can control games without even having the ball because they are just so good to play with 4 centre-backs or your 4 defenders. I think helps massively. I think Gabriel and Saliba have gone to the next level as well. I don't see a better pair of centre-backs anywhere in Europe, really, than them two. And I think Arteta is right. He said the other day, you win titles with your defence, which was not the case for Arsenal. They were the best defence last season, didn't win it, and the season before. However, usually it takes you a long way if you don't concede and don't give anything away to the opposition. I think in that run that we saw, in the league, suddenly they gave away 2 shots on target in the last 5 league matches. So you can't even hit the target when you play again, let alone score. Just hit the target is a hassle. So when you're in that kind of mood, it's hard to do.
I was reading that there was 5 games in the Premier League this season where one team did not have a single shot on target. Arsenal played in 3 of those games. And they only conceded 3 goals throughout. And there's a Sunderland side, on the other hand, that are also defensively solid. What's impressed you about them? Because their return to the Premier League has been quite a story.
Oh, it's been remarkable. I don't think anybody had, you know, at the start of the season that Sunderland would be in the position they're in today. I think the manager's done a wonderful job. They have more of a defensive structure. They make it really difficult for teams. I think a huge advantage for them is home games for them. You know, a place is a fortress. And the reality is, you know, all the clubs in the south, they don't particularly want to go to Sunderland. We know that. You know, and that's a psychological thing you lean into when you're up there. You know, you lean into the fans. I think Xhaka, of course, has been that person that they look to as sort of the leadership. But I think he deserves a lot of credit because his performances have been very good. But he also has taken on that. He's enjoyed that role, it looks like, just nurturing the young players around him. And they've got a lot of players, I think, especially in the back line, that are very honest and very hard-working, and they've just allowed the momentum to build, and they're in a fantastic position, and they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, you mentioned Xhaka there, of course, reunion with the club where he spent 7 seasons at Arsenal. And also, you know, he was the captain of the team. Yeah. And now he returns as captain of Sunderland. I think Arteta said he's one of the signings of the summer.
He is for me. Without a doubt, I think he's a masterclass from Sunderland to have brought him back to the Premier League. He runs this dressing room, and which works perfectly with Régis Lebris, the coach, who just wants to focus on tactics and on the pitch and planning for games. So Xhaka can run the dressing room, Lebris looks after game plan and tactic side of it and everything, and together they were great. It's almost like Granit is the assistant coach in this team, really, and this squad, and to have that kind of leadership. The numbers are great. Obviously, he's a very good player. We knew that. But it's more, for me, the impact that he's had on this team and on this club, more than what he does on the pitch, off the pitch. After the Everton draw, for example, he said, I didn't like the training session yesterday. We didn't train well enough, and that's why we started so poorly in the first 20 or 25 minutes of that Everton game, and they went 1-0 down. And it's the guy who set the standards. I spoke to Wilson Isidore the other day, and he was saying, like, he would shout on you if you miss a pass of training. He's on you all the time. He's just there. The level of his demands and how demanding he is with everything, a first touch, a pass, a movement, a line of four, everything is just so big that everybody just follows, and that's why they've been so good.
Yeah, I love that interview with Isidore when they were up to second, and the reporter said, do you know where you are in the Premier League? And he said, I don't know, fourth or fifth. It's on the Premier League's Instagram. He goes, second, it's not too bad. Eh? They could go second, I think, once again, if they managed a victory here. What would they have to get right in order to do that?
I mean, defend set plays. That very well could be a big part, because, like I say, they are very good at home. I think they've only lost in the cup this season that took penalties, so they will make it difficult for Arsenal. It won't be comfortable. It'll be a hostile environment. They'll probably be fairly deep, and they'll have to absorb a lot of pressure, and you have to be very focused and concentrated to do that well. If they can do that, and if they can manage to defend set piece as well, then the longer the game stays at 0-0, then they will get an opportunity. It may only be a half chance, but they might get something.
Yeah, well, given the two defences, half chance.
Of that huge game, we want you to get involved in the show. Of course we do. So today we have been asking you, who is a bigger threat to Arsenal in this season's title race? Is it Manchester City or is it Liverpool? To vote, you can simply scan the QR code on the screen right now. We'll bring you the result at the end of the show and see if Rob and Steve agree. So with City and Liverpool not in action until Sunday, leaders Arsenal can pile on that pressure with a win at Sunderland tomorrow. Mikel Arteta's men have a job on their hands though. Sunderland are unbeaten at home this season and have former Arsenal captain Granit Xhaka bang in form.
I loved every minute that we spent together. When I joined, he was in a special moment, I would say, of his life and his career. And between all of us, we try to guide him, to give him a different perspective, to make him feel loved, valued, and he responded in an incredible way. So he made me a better coach. He helped us to develop and improve a lot as a football team and as a club. And I will be eternally grateful because I have great memories with him.
I have to say, I think Xhaka has just been signing of the summer. In my opinion, what he's done for that team has been nothing short of unbelievable, don't you think?
I think when he first went there and they announced that sign, there was a few eyebrows raised, as if to say, I can see why they're getting Granit Xhaka, but why is Granit Xhaka really going there?
Yeah.
But what he's done, I covered him a few weeks ago at Chelsea away, and he was outstanding. Covered every blade of grass, led by example, on the front foot, done all the hard yards. You could just see that experience as well, guided Sunderland through that, not just that game, but where they are in the Premier League at the moment as well. I think you're right. I think he's just been an unsung hero and a real astute signing and one that he's relishing with as well.
Yeah. Do you think as well it's a testament to those Sunderland players? New player comes in, you've just got promoted up to the Prem, takes the armband straight away. You've got to get the backing of the rest of the lads, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think that sign, I think Steve touched on it as well, as a message to everyone else who was going to come. This means business. We're signing Granit Xhaka. You want to come here.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, if he's signing number 15, all of a sudden you're kind of worrying about the 14 previous signings. But when you've got the quality of him coming in initially, and he brings in so much qualities, driving it on the pitch and off the pitch, all of a sudden you've got people who want to go there, and they've made massive leaps in such a short space of time. It's been incredible, and he's been an integral part of that.
It really has. But even though Arteta was saying some nice things about him, I'm sure he does not want him anywhere near that Arsenal goal at the weekend. I mean, how important is a win at Sunderland for Arsenal, Steve?
They just look relentless at the moment, Arsenal. You can't see him losing a game. You can't see him conceding a goal. You can't see him conceding a shot. They're defending so well. And I think that's the mindset of where Arteta's gone. I think when he first took over at Arsenal, it was all about front foot football, forward thinking, red arrows, 5-0, 6-0, how many goals we can get. I think he's flipped it the other way around now. I think he's thought about it and gone, right, what's the best way of winning a Premier League title? Let's be defensive. And then we'll go, that's our basis, that's our platform. Last season, they was outstanding in a defensive format as well.
Yeah.
But this season, they've taken it to another level, and that is their basis from then on. Goalkeeper, back four, midfield two, the rest of the players, go and win the game. And that, in realness, probably they've not had that attractive football. They've had to win it a little bit ugly in terms of set pieces.
Yeah.
But on the whole, they've just grinding it out. And listen, coming into the season, you'll know this, it's not about how you win each individual game, because your name's on that trophy.
As an Arsenal fan, I'm sure you won't care right now about winning boring, but that's what they're doing, aren't they?
But that's it.
But you're looking. It's going to be an interesting game at the weekend against Sunderland, because if you've got one team that could hurt them, with Calafiori going forward during Timber, where he wanders off to at times, is the pace that they've got out wide. Yeah. The options that they've got just to go. And they did it against Chelsea, didn't they? They just went, and all of a sudden they nicked the winner. And you're thinking, all right, well, this is a different, interesting proposition that Arsenal might face. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the clean sheets a second ago as well, Steve. I mean, Rob, you tell me what it's like from a goalkeeper's perspective, right? You've got 8 clean sheets in a row. How much is that down to David Raya and what he's doing and how he's working with the defence?
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch, and like it is just a machine. It is an element of boring relentlessness to it. And you look with him in the centre halves mainly, you're saying between the three of them, they'll have an agreement that as long as we don't make a mistake, there is nothing anyone can do to stop us now. And that's almost the attitude that you get within there. And you're looking at it saying, well, we've got a system that no one's found an answer to. Yeah. We'll just continue that, and it is a case of repeating relentlessly and focus so much in that 90 minutes. David Raya's great. He's been brilliant since going in. What he's done with his feet, his passing, what he's brought in terms of playing out from the back has been incredible, and how far he comes out to play. Such an integral part of how they play out from the back, and his movement. I mean, you see him lay off a short ball, and he moves quicker than anybody else to get into a new position. You're thinking, what are you doing? Where are you going? And he knows where he's supposed to be. He is such a huge part of being that extra man, being that option, that it just takes it completely away from the opposition. And you know what? It's part of the game where if you keep the ball for so long, the opposition have so little time to score. Yeah. It makes a massive difference.
There was an interesting interview that Christian Norgard did. But he said, in the dressing room, none of the back four, they don't talk about the clean sheet.